In the opening scene, we see a ruined city. In the background, there's the sound of heavy breathing. Then the voice of the main character is heard. He says, "My name is Tian." We see him holding a chain, and he says, "I've managed to survive in this apocalypse until now only because of one big reason. Because I was reborn. I was reincarnated 3 days before the apocalypse began. That's the only reason I've survived until now." At the other end of the chain, he is holding his sister, whose name is Yan. We see Tian struggling to save his sister when suddenly he feels something beside him. He thinks, "I never imagined that after being reborn, I'd face such a situation." From the front, countless massive spiritual hands start approaching them. Seeing this, Tian becomes extremely nervous. He has his sister hanging from the chain from a tall building, trying to keep her safe. The giant hands grab onto Yan, fighting among themselves, each trying to pull her away. These were powerful entities, and Tian, despite all his effort, couldn't do anything against them. He could only cry out her name helplessly. The hands eventually drag his sister away, and once she's gone, the remaining hands turn toward Tian, reaching out to grab him. He realizes this, and notices the building beneath him collapsing entirely. The story pauses here in the present timeline. We'll return to this moment later, around chapter 6. For now, we move into a flashback showing how things reached this stage. Tian narrates, "Before being reborn, when he was a child, he could see strange things. While no one else could see them, he could clearly see evil spirits, ghosts, and wandering souls. When he told his parents about it, they became terrified and abandoned him, leaving him in an orphanage, calling him a cursed child. It was then that Yan's parents appeared and adopted him, becoming his step-parents. From then, his life turned warm and better. His only responsibility was to protect his sister Yan, especially since their parents would often go away for work. Whenever Yan faced trouble, like someone bullying her, harassing her, or making fun of her, Tian would beat them up, sometimes even cutting their hair as punishment. He was fiercely protective. As he grew older, his powers also grew stronger. Not only could he see evil spirits, he could also eliminate them. Because of this, he became famous in a small circle, known as someone with expertise in dealing with such beings. People respected him for it. Tian never doubted the existence of these supernatural forces. He always believed in them, and secretly worked to eliminate them whenever possible. Life went on like this until one day the sky cracked open. From that crack, countless monsters started pouring out. Tian then saw something falling from the sky, a meteorite or a shooting star. It came straight toward him, striking his head. It felt as though a bullet had gone through him. He thought he had died, but when he regained consciousness, he realized he had reincarnated. Looking around, he quickly checked the date and saw it was September 20th, 2119, 3 days before the apocalypse would begin. Recognizing this moment, he was shocked. He knew exactly what was about to happen. Magical beasts, monstrous bugs, zombies, countless terrifying creatures would suddenly invade Earth, and humanity would be pushed to the brink of extinction. He wondered, do I have a chance this time? Can I stop it? Or will humanity once again face complete disaster? Then he saw Yan's photo in front of him. He clenched his fist and vowed, "This time, I won't let anything happen to Yan. No matter how terrifying this apocalypse may be, I'll prepare myself before it begins. I'll become strong enough to protect my sister. The sky crack won't fully open for 3 more days, and 3 days is more than enough for me." He believed if they could just survive that first crucial day of the apocalypse, they would have hope. He sat on his bed, calming himself through meditation, and entered his inner world. Inside, he saw a glowing bead shining brightly on his forehead. Surprised, he wondered how such a thing had appeared in his consciousness. It hadn't been there before. He thought, could this be the same thing that struck me before I was reborn? As he looked closer, the bead began to shine more intensely, and from it emerged a golden dragon, immensely powerful. The dragon let out a thunderous roar, and all its energy surged into Tian's body. Overwhelmed, he panicked and snapped out of meditation. He was left puzzled. Where did this pearl come from? What exactly is it? But instead of dwelling on it, he ignored the questions and set a 72-hour countdown on his phone, the exact time until the apocalypse. The first thing he did was call his sister Yan. She picked up casually, saying, "Yes, bro, what's up?" She was with a friend at the time. Tian said urgently, "I don't care where you are or what you're doing. Come to me immediately. If you don't, you may never see me again." Then he hung up. He also called 3 other people, apologizing for contacting them suddenly, but explaining he needed their help urgently. Soon after, Tian met with them near a large underground warehouse facility. Apologizing again, he explained he had something important to discuss. One of them, curious, asked him to reveal his intentions. Another agreed, wondering why they had been summoned. Before Tian could reply, another person arrived, saying, Master Tian, all the items you ordered are on the way. I've given them directions, and soon everything will arrive. Relieved, Tian thanked him for his hard work. They asked about the warehouse, and Tian explained that he had bought it for a short period and planned to use it for the coming days. He told them to bring their families here too. If my plan works, this place will be very beneficial for all of us. Soon, machines, resources, and supplies started arriving in large quantities, leaving everyone stunned. While the materials were being set up, someone called out, Excuse me? It was Yan, searching frantically for her brother. Brother! Brother, where are you? She looked worried and tense. Tian, busy with the supplies, turned and was shocked but happy to see her. Yan rushed over, hugging him tightly and shaking him in tears. Brother, what's happening? Are you hurt? Are you sick? Are you possessed by some spirit? Why did you say I wouldn't see you again? She was crying uncontrollably. Confused, she asked, And what are you even doing in the middle of this forest? Tian calmed her down, saying, I'm fine. Nothing's wrong. Relax. Just then, Yan introduced her best friend who had come with her, Tang Jintong, whom we'll call Jin. They exchanged greetings. Tian told them to rest inside. This place is full of supplies and weapons. It's my responsibility to handle them. You go relax. But Yan worried, asking, Brother, what are you doing here? Did you spend all our savings? Weren't those meant for my dowry? What about your marriage? Sweating nervously, Tian replied, Dowry? Marriage? Soon none of those things will matter in this world. You'll find it hard to believe the story I'm about to tell you, but it's the truth. He then explained everything to her. He had also collected many weapons, thanks to his connections, which made it easier for him than it would have been otherwise. Yan, though shocked, admitted, It's hard to believe, but since the day our parents left us, you've never lied to me once. You've always taken care of me, so I believe you. Tian reassured her, and I promise no matter what happens, I'll protect you. In his heart, he vowed that no matter what kind of disaster came, he would save Yan. He continued his meditation, explaining that his special ability, the yin-yang eyes, had been with him since childhood. Over the years, he had honed them, even creating a spiritual chain with their power, which was effective against evil spirits. He had named this technique yin-yang chain. Now, with the mysterious bead inside him, he discovered a powerful ancient cultivation method, the Imperial Dragon Scripture. He had only reached the Qi stage so far, but beyond that were 3 higher stages, the realm of mystic, despair, survival, and faces. With this technique, his cultivation speed had become 10 times faster. Testing his powers, he prayed, I hope the heavens gave me this gift so I can protect my family. Finally, the day of the apocalypse arrived. The countdown ticked down, 1 minute, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, and then 9, 8, 7, 6. On the streets, people noticed strange changes in the sky. When the countdown hit 0, their eyes widened in shock. A massive crack split open in the heavens, and from it poured countless monsters. Everyone who had doubted Tian now realized he was telling the truth. The apocalypse had truly arrived. But unlike others, Tian and his companions were already prepared. Meanwhile, in the city, chaos spread. People couldn't understand what was happening. How can the sky break apart? What are these creatures falling from it? Birds? Monsters? Soon they realized these things were not birds, but flesh-eating monsters. As panic set in, people ran for their lives. Within moments, the once thriving city was reduced to ruins, covered in smoke and fire. Tian and Yan watched the destruction unfold. Yan says, Brother, you were right. The apocalypse has come. After destroying the city, the monsters move toward the forest where their base is, and all the members prepare to face them. A couple of monsters crash into the wall. At first, the wall handles the attacks easily, but then cracks begin to appear in it. Everyone gets ready. Tian orders everyone, warning that the monsters are coming inside, and to quickly take their positions and not stand somewhere easy to attack from. He tells his sister to hurry and hide somewhere. And though she worries for him, he tells her not to worry, to listen to him, and be a good girl. He also orders everyone to follow him and to make a defensive block. Build good cover and aim at the entrance so your strongest hits land on the monsters. Outside, many monsters wait for the wall to break so they can attack those inside. Tian and the others take cover, and they make a small hole. Through that opening, they stick their guns out and fire at the approaching monsters. At first, it seems those gun attacks won't do much, but actually many monsters are killed by the firepower. Those guns prove very effective. So many monsters attack that you can't even count them, but bullets continue to fly. Their firepower is strong. In a short while, rivers of blood begin to flow, and after some time, every single monster is wiped out. Only corpses remain. Nothing else survives. Seeing this, everyone breathes a little easier, relieved they survived the first attack. They cheer that they made it. One person says, "We survived." Another says, "We managed to block the monster attack." Some have small scratches, but their firepower was strong, and making the building their base in the basement proved to be effective. One person says, "We're safe." That strategy really worked. Tian comes forward, meets his sister, and tells everyone that for now they managed to fight off and drive away the monsters. But this is temporary. The monsters could attack again anytime. He warns everyone not to lower their guard, to go into the basement where there is enough food, water, and weapons to last the coming year. When the apocalypse ends, we will check whether the outside environment is livable. Before he finishes, we see two monsters still alive. They break through the concrete wall and come inside. Panic erupts. The monsters have broken through, and people start running to save themselves. They don't want to be caught because they believed they had killed all the monsters. But two survived. Quickly, orders are given. Take your sister and go into the safe area and hide so no danger reaches you. Soldiers with firepower will deal with the rest. But these monsters are fast. Bullets miss as they dodge easily. We see Tian becoming angry. Flying monsters come from holes behind and attack with great force. Tian notices and, as he reacts, one monster flies away. The monsters head straight toward Yan and Jin to attack them, and they have no strength left to fight. Seeing his sister in danger, he considers using his magic power, his yin-yang chain. No one else knows he has magical power. Only a few understand it. Without thinking, he attacks the monster with his yin-yang chain, binding it. We see him capture the monster with the chain. The monster's condition becomes horrific and terrifying, and everyone watching is frightened, asking, "What is this? Is he a monster himself? How did he draw that chain from thin air?" Some people think they've come across a dangerous person and panic further, because they've never seen something like this. Tian keeps struggling with the monster, eventually ripping out its soul and killing it completely. He goes to his sister, who has fainted from fear. He supports her. People are still whispering that Tian is a monster, when suddenly old friends arrive who know about Tian power. They begin to clear up the misunderstanding and tell everyone there's no need to be afraid. They explain that their master Tian is a rare ability user in this world. He has power in his yin-yang eyes, so people shouldn't fear the chain. He used it to kill the monsters. Seeing the state of the monster, everyone grows more frightened. But Tian regains control and orders everyone to quickly seal the holes, leaving only a small window or passage, so that when single monsters come through, they can be easily dealt with. At that moment, some light begins to emanate from the shining monster Tian killed. The light gathers into something and everyone is surprised, asking what it is. Tian, however, is very happy and says he didn't know that such a treasure would be inside that bat-like creature. He picks up the pearl and looks at it curiously, saying, "This is a spirit bead." Everyone is astonished and asks what a spirit bead is, and if anyone knows about it. No one does. Tian explains that spirit beads form what the spirit believed in when it was alive. After you kill an evil spirit, it purifies and becomes a bead. They are very rare. After killing many monsters, sometimes one of these pearls appears. He says that using his yin-yang chain, he has killed many evil ghosts or trapped them so they can never come out. And occasionally, through this process, such beads would be found. But they are extremely rare. When you get these pearls, they help increase your cultivation strength and greatly raise combat power. Hearing this, everyone is amazed and says, "Wow, this pearl is amazing." They are happy to learn this new information. Tian is even happier and thinks that when he first tried to improve his yin-yang technique through practice, his talent produced very little increase in power. But since this new technique arrived, his improvement has been great. He reasons that if he uses the Imperial Dragon structure together with the spiritual pearl, his improvements will reach a much higher level. Then Yan tells his brother to look over there. As they watch, spirit pearls start emerging from many monsters and begin to collect in large numbers. Everyone is excited, saying there are so many spirit pearls available here. Tian thinks, "This is unbelievable. Every monster is producing at least one. While I used to kill so many evil spirits, pearls were rarely produced. Now even small beasts are producing them. There must be some technique behind so many pearls." He remembers the Imperial Dragon structure technique he found and thinks similar good techniques might be hidden in these pearls. If they find pearls during this apocalypse, they can survive easily. Tian grows very excited and swallows one of the spirit pearls. After he swallows it, his sister's best friend watches and feels awkward, even making a face and saying, "Ew, brother, you actually swallowed it? I thought it was something else." People who don't understand are confused. So Tian clarifies that the best way to consume spirit pearls is to swallow them. He takes his sister's hand and announces a decision. He will go outside, hunt monsters, and collect many spirit pearls to bring back. As soon as Yun hears this, she is terrified and says, "No, what are you saying? You can't go outside. The apocalypse is here. If you go out, you could die." Everyone wonders if the master really wants to go out. Isn't that too dangerous? Why not stay inside? Tian addresses everyone. Everyone listen carefully. It's almost the end of humanity out there. Massive destruction has happened. Many humans are already dead, and only a few remain. If we want to survive this apocalypse, we have only one option. We must increase our power through the spirit pearls we've found and learn to rely on ourselves so we can survive. I truly believe there are more treasures like these out there. So to improve our survival chances, I must go out and hunt more monsters and bring back such pearls to maximize our odds. I will continue to improve my techniques. Yin-yang eye technique, chain technique, and with these pearls I can become better at killing monsters. So don't worry about me. I'm going out so everyone here can change their fate. With that persuasive speech, he convinces them. Sometime later, ready and alert, they move outside. There are many humans and many dead monsters everywhere. Corpses litter the area. Tian holds his nose and comments on the stench of blood. There is an enormous amount of spilled blood. He moves forward thinking that he doesn't see any monsters nearby, which could mean the monsters elsewhere are also not sleeping. Suddenly something hits him from behind. A huge back smashes down, and a massive creature that had been awake emerges and appears directly before him. Seeing it, Tian panics, and then, with good timing, the monster attacks him directly. Tian jumps back and saves himself, then makes a long leap and strikes the monster with a powerful attack. In a single strike, he kills the enormous creature, and as it dies, its spirit condenses into a spirit pearl. A red pearl forms before him. Tian is surprised and says, "A red pearl? I've obtained many pearls before, but never a red one." A shadow appears behind Tian. Someone steps forward and praises him, saying how lucky he is to find a red spirit pearl. Tian turns and sees a very attractive young woman standing there. He asks who she is. She replies that she is Xiao, a chain thief. Xiao. She has an impressive figure and looks very striking. Tian picks up the red spirit pearl and, looking at the woman, wonders if there are other ability users like him here. He asks what kind of ability she has. Xiao answers that she is a healer. She can heal injuries. She demonstrates by using her power to heal a wound on his arm. Seeing this, Tian is pleased and impressed, saying that a user who can heal anyone is incredible. Then Tian asks about the red spirit pearl and what type it is. He thinks she might know more. Xiao explains that normally spirit pearls are white and are produced by evil spirits. But over time, as things changed and evil intent increased, some monsters developed stronger evil spirits that produced red speed pearls. But over time, as things changed and evil intent increased, some monsters developed stronger evil spirits that produced red spirit pearls. These red spirit pearls are extremely rare. When consumed properly, they don't just increase power. They might grant artifacts or refinement equipment. Something extra. Hearing this, Tian says, "So you're saying these are rarer treasures than the usual ones? Very valuable." Xiao then takes something out of her bag and explains that when the apocalypse started, a mysterious light fell at her home gate. Inside that piece of ice, she found a book made from jade, a very expensive stone, and when she opened it, she learned information about the apocalypse. She also recognized Tian from school. She had seen his performance back then and knew he was kind and helpful. That's why she realized his capability now. She admits that her ability is healing, but she cannot do much in terms of combat power, so she wants to follow Tian during the apocalypse and help. She then gives her book to Tian and says there's no need for her to worry. In this apocalyptic time, she can survive by staying with him. And anyway, if they want to live through it, they must support each other. Then Tian opens the book and tells Xiao that not a single word is written in it. How did she gain knowledge from it? How did she read anything at all? Suddenly, light emerges from the book, and as it spreads into the air, words begin to appear automatically on the pages. The book reveals that this world is changing, souls are floating everywhere, and good and evil intentions have mixed so much that they've reached their limits. Across this vast world, countless realms have already been destroyed and have reached their edge. Now begins a new era, when apocalypse is also rebirth. After destruction, something new begins. This is that moment, the very first day of the Great Apocalypse. To put it simply, the book says that apart from Earth, many other worlds already exist, many of which have been destroyed. Now all the remaining worlds will merge into Earth. This destruction marks the beginning of new life, a new culture. All worlds will merge together to revive one new culture, and this is its very first day. Returning to the story, Tian explains everything to Xiao about why he came here. Xiao asks if his purpose is to search for treasures. Tian confirms it, just like when he obtained her heaven wordless book. These treasures can change the entire outcome of the apocalypse by granting great power. Xiao replies that apart from him, she hasn't seen any special treasure tonight. It feels silent all around. Tian says there's no need to rush, but he senses a strange energy here, almost like some aura is attacking him. He's sure there must be some treasure around. Suddenly, a loud attack sound comes from ahead, making Tian alert. He says something is happening there. Xiao tells Tian she also wants to help him and asks how she can. Tian instructs her to watch for monsters from behind, as one could sneak up on him. If she notices anything, she should warn him. Xiao agrees and tells him not to worry, promising to stay alert, and also reminds him to take care of himself and not push too much. If things get risky, he should retreat. Tian tells her to leave that to him. Soon, they hear explosions ahead where monsters are fighting each other. Tian takes cover behind a stone and notices something shining. It must be the treasure his ring sensed. It's a glowing item, a spirit pearl-like object. At the same time, a green wolf and green-skinned monsters are locked in battle. Tian realizes this is the perfect chance to grab the glowing light since no one is paying attention to him. Without wasting time, he rushes forward, stumbles, but manages to grab the glowing item and hides it in his bag. Unfortunately, the green wolf also notices him and immediately kills off the monsters before charging toward Tian. Tian panics, realizing the wolf is extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, it leaps at him. He narrowly dodges its first attack, but when the wolf snaps its jaws with energy and power, even though Tian uses a stone as cover, his shoulder gets injured. Shocked at its speed, Tian wonders how such a large monster can move so fast. It should have been slower. The wolf gathers energy in its mouth again, preparing to strike. Tian, unfazed, says the same trick won't scare him twice and lunges forward with his sword. But his sword slips from his hand and falls away. With his injured shoulder, he can't use his full strength, or else he might have killed the wolf in one blow. The wolf seizes the chance to attack again. But Tian hasn't used his ultimate trump card yet, his yin-yang chain. He quickly uses it to bind the wolf tightly, stopping its movement. He then pulls out a spear-like weapon and hurls it into the wolf's chest, leaving a deep wound. Retrieving his fallen sword, he thrusts it straight into the wolf's mouth, finishing it off. After killing it, Tian mocks the beast, saying with such weak power it dared to act arrogant. He then retrieves the treasure for which he fought the wolf. Breaking it open, a cube-like item emerges. Surprised, Tian realizes it's like a Rubik's Cube. When he presses it harder, a small dimensional portal opens. He realizes this can be used to store items. Amazed, he thinks that along with evil monsters, rare treasures have also appeared since the apocalypse began. After finishing his task, he returns to Xiao. Just then, snow begins to fall, creating a beautiful atmosphere. Xiao greets him warmly and asks if he's hurt. Tian insists it's just a small scratch, but in reality, his shoulder is badly injured. Xiao notices and heals him, scolding him for lying. Within moments, she heals him completely. While they're still together, the sound of many footsteps approaches. Alarmed, Xiao asks what that was. Tian realizes it's not just a few people but a large group. Soon, an entire army of skeleton knights appears. Recognizing them, Tian quickly covers Xiao's mouth and whispers that these are night soldiers. They must stay quiet. The night soldiers face the monsters, and the monsters face them back. Both sides hate each other. Soldiers are bound to exterminate monsters, and monsters are bound to destroy soldiers. A bloody battle breaks out between the two. Xiao is stunned for a moment, but Tian remains calm, simply observing. As monsters die, spirit pearls spill out of them. Xiao excitedly points this out, but Tian tells her not to rush. They will collect them once the battle is over and the area is empty. After some time, the fight ends, and the two of them gather the pearls, many of different colors. Xiao exclaims they've become rich. Tian agrees, saying treasures beyond just pearls are scattered here. He fills his bag completely. The scene shifts back to their base. Tian knocks on the gate, announcing his return. A voice inside shouts, "It's his brother," and to open the door quickly. Yan rushes out, relieved to see him, saying she was worried because he hadn't returned for so long. Tian introduces Xiao, explaining she can also use an ability. Healing. When he was injured, she healed him, and that's why he's fine now. Xiao greets Yan politely, and Yan thanks her sincerely for protecting her brother. Xiao replies that this is a time when everyone must help each other survive. The next morning, at 8 a.m., Tian asks if anything happened while he was gone. Yan replies there were no monster attacks, and they remained safe. But despite it being 8 a.m., it's still dark outside. This means the nights will keep growing longer. Yan friend Jin adds that snow suddenly started falling too, and if they didn't have a generator and heater, they would have frozen to death. Tian agrees, noting the snowfall started last night, and while they saw treasures falling from the sky, the sun itself was nowhere to be seen. He opens the treasure book again, and light emerges with a message. On the second day of the apocalypse, the sun will disappear forever, never to return, and the earth will be ruled only by freezing cold and endless snowfall. Everyone realizes the sun has truly vanished on the second day. Tian explains that the book, called the Heavenly Word Scripture, belonged to Xiao, who passed it to him. It updates with all information about the apocalypse. Emptying his bag, he shows all the treasures he found. Yan and Jin are amazed at the glowing, colorful items. Tian explains that among them is a martial art manual called the Heart Martial Art Manuscript, formed when a mutated creature died. According to the book, this scripture is perfect for basic cultivation training. It's safe to practice, even for those without innate abilities like Yan and Jin. It will awaken fire-attributed qi in their bodies. It has no restrictions, no disadvantages, and even if they change their path later, they can still benefit from it. The only thing it does is help unlock qi and strengthen cultivation. Along with it, he also gives them special spirit pills, saying these will speed up their progress. Jin and Yan are thrilled, realizing they too can become stronger. Tian then focuses on the heavenly book again, learning it records every change in the world, with new apocalyptic trials arriving day by day. On the third day, a portal appears in the sky. The book reveals that trees and plants will now receive special qi, causing them to change in nature. Even in their basement, tree roots begin invading. Tian instructs everyone to cut them back, warning if the roots spread too far, they'll lose their shelter. He also says no one should stop working. Those who are tired should rotate with others. He cuts roots himself and urges them to prevent further spread. On the fourth day, the heavenly book had already declared that a blood-red rain would fall and meteors would descend from the skies, bringing one of the greatest disasters yet. Huge meteorites crash into their base, breaking it apart with terrifying force. Inside, Tian urgently tells everyone, including his sister, to grab their food supplies because outside it's not just blood rain, but acid rain as well, mixed with falling meteors. Everyone rushes underground to take shelter. But even underground, roots are already spreading. They light fires and prepare to cook their food there. In his heart, Tian knows he must rely on his own strength. He cannot depend on the apocalyptic book forever. Most people are relying on him now. Looking around at his companions, he feels happy seeing that Yan and Jin have also unlocked their qi circulation. This means they too can now begin cultivation. Tian thinks that as his sisters grow stronger as cultivators, others too will awaken. The yuan qi in the environment will allow more talented people to reach higher cultivation stages. The disasters continue, but soon the fifth day arrives, marked as the greatest calamity yet. It is said that all worlds will merge into Earth itself. Every universe, every multiverse will collapse into this single planet. At this moment, Tian is out exploring since there is still some time left before the worlds completely merge. Suddenly, the ground trembles like an earthquake. Shocked, he hears cries for help. He discovers a tunnel where people are rushing out, chased by massive red monsters, far taller than humans. Among the survivors is a female teacher, bitten by a monstrous rat. Children cry out in fear, calling her Teacher Tang. These are students, accompanied by another teacher named Lin. He slices apart the rat that attacked her, revealing his fire-type abilities. He uses his powers to push the monsters back and save Teacher Tang, though it's uncertain if she will survive. As another rat monster lunges at Lin, Tian intervenes, trapping them with his chains before slicing them apart with his sword. He then tells Lin to take the children and leave, assuring him not to worry about him. We then see Tian unleash a new skill. He can now convert the chain links into rings, the yin-yang rings. These rings capture monsters, strangle them, and absorb their souls, erasing their evil essence. It's a powerful new ability. Using it, he brutally slaughters all the red monsters. Afterward, he realizes that with all the souls collected today, he can now forge yet another ring, making it a total of 21 rings. Lin, astonished, thanks Tian deeply for saving him and his students. Tears fill the children's eyes, as it seems Teacher Tang may have already died. Introducing himself, Lin explains that when the apocalypse began, they were trapped inside their school. Since then, they've been hiding together, trying to survive, never imagining such a tragedy would strike. Tian comforts him, praising his efforts. Curious, he asks Lin about his fire powers. Lin reveals he has had this ability since childhood. People mocked and isolated him for it, calling him strange. But now, in this apocalypse, he believed it could help save lives. Sadly, even with it, he couldn't protect everyone, especially not Teacher Tang. Moved, Lin clasps Tian's hand, acknowledging that his strength far surpasses his own. He pleads with Tian to help him protect the students, knowing he alone cannot keep them safe. Though the request is sudden, he is desperate. Hearing this, the children grow anxious, not wanting to burden anyone. But Tian reassures them. In this apocalyptic world, they must all help one another. He promises to protect them. Lin is overjoyed by his agreement and vows to follow his lead. Back at Tian Base, he introduces Lin and the students to the others, announcing that Lin is also an ability user. Everyone welcomes them warmly. Tian then addresses his group. Monsters are becoming more active around them, destroying their homes and endangering their people. They must accept the reality. They are facing the greatest disaster ever. But as long as they survive, unite, and grow stronger, they can endure it. He explains that many are awakening new abilities and treasures are falling from the skies. These are signs they can survive. His words ignite courage in everyone. But suddenly, the ground shakes again. Outside, an enormous vortex of energy forms. It's the Yuan-Chi storm, the heaven's gift, infusing countless people with abilities. Flames, ice crystals, and other powers awaken across the survivors. Meanwhile, Yan and her friends Jin and Xiao happily enjoy their food, noting how the Yuan-Chi storm has granted them strength to survive. Tian, however, studies the strange red crystal he obtained from the rat monsters. It reacts strongly to his imperial dragon scripture. The heavenly book reveals its truth. It is a hidden treasure, a time stone. It can open a pocket dimension to store important items. Overjoyed, Tian decides to absorb it, thinking he can now safeguard treasures like the heavenly book. As he prepares, his sister brings him food, scolding him for skipping meals and always treating her like a child. Forcing him to eat, she reminds him that he is the only family she has left. Smiling, Tian agrees. But resources soon run low. With their growing numbers and destroyed supplies, food becomes scarce. Tian acknowledges their luck. They may lack resources, but at least they are still alive. Suddenly, others cry out in joy. Sunlight has returned. Everyone rushes out to see the bright sun. But Tian frowns, noticing not one, but many suns in the sky. Confused, he recalls the prophecy that countless universes will merge with Earth. Yan, alarmed, asks him why so many stars and suns are drawing near. The heavens are filling with massive worlds, each one different. Tian realizes with dread. Every star, every universe, contains its own world, its own history, its own imagination. Novels, wars, fantasies, all about to merge into Earth itself. Moments later, everyone suddenly floated into the air, suspended as if gravity had vanished. Startled, Tian's eyes shot open. When did I fall asleep? Around him, people drifted helplessly in the sky, asleep. He shouted, "Wake up! Everyone, wake up!" Hearing his voice, they stirred. Yan screamed in panic. "Why am I floating in the air? What's happening?" Xiao cried out, "Check the heavenly book. Maybe it has an answer for today." Tian quickly opened it. On the 6th day of the apocalypse, the book spoke. Those who survived would be shown mercy by heaven, and countless treasures would descend from the skies. Xiao blinked in confusion. What does that mean? Tian's eyes gleamed. It means we survived the apocalypse. Heaven is giving us a chance. A reward. At that moment, Jin pointed upward. Look, the sky is cracking, something's falling. The heavens split open, and treasures rain down. Tian shouted, "This is it! The heavenly book spoke of this! Grab as many treasures as you can!" One man caught a golden shard. A girl grasped a glowing technique scroll. Tian unleashed his chains, whispering to himself, "I can't wait. I must seize as many treasures as possible." Where once he could release 2 chains, now he summoned 5, each with 81 locks, 405 in total. He lunged forward, determined to claim every rare treasure within reach. Then Yan gasped, pointing at the sky. "Brother, look! The planets are moving toward us!" Tian turned, eyes widening. The stars that had hung at a distance now rushed faster toward Earth. His heart trembled. If they collide, Earth itself could be destroyed. The planets crashed down, but instead of shattering Earth, they phased through people, merging into the land itself. Universes overlapped, fusing into Earth's structure. Tian realized Earth is absorbing them, expanding itself. But fear gnawed at him. If all these universes merge, the evil spirit's desires will grow stronger. Their twisted will may overwhelm humanity. Could this mean the end of mankind? He quickly flipped the heavenly book to the 7th day. It confirmed his fear. All real and unreal worlds, every fantasy, every legend, would fuse with Earth. Yan pointed again. "Brother, look at that planet. I see something familiar inside." And indeed, within it appeared the Monkey King, Sun Wukong, and countless mythic beings. Other planets revealed dynasties, treasures, warriors, and cultivation sects once thought imaginary. Tian whispered, "So that's it. Everything humans once imagined. Every legend, every novel, every sect, all of it is becoming real." fusing into Earth. One by one, vast sects settled onto Earth, as if the planet had sprouted endless blisters of worlds. Then, a mysterious voice boomed across the heavens. The evolution of heaven and earth is complete. All imagination is now reality. The worlds have merged. A new era begins. The eternal kingdom has been born. Yan trembled. Brother, what does that mean? Is Earth no longer the Earth we knew? Tien's face grew solemn. No, the old world is gone. This is an evolved Earth, merged with heaven itself. It's no longer the same. The voice thundered again. The old Earth has ended. A new era begins. Those who survived the apocalypse shall be called Skylords. Tien's chest tightened. Skylords. So we are now Skylords. Survivors of the old Earth. Suddenly, crushing pressure slammed down. Gravity returned violently and everyone plummeted. Panic spread. We'll be smashed to pieces if we hit the ground like this, Yan screamed, calling her brother's name. Tien threw out his chains, catching the three girls and shouting, Don't panic! Heaven doesn't intend to kill us like this. Hold on to my chains. We'll land safely. But if anyone lets go, we might fall into strange lands and never meet again. They clung tightly. But then, a massive portal opened. A colossal hand, woven from light and space, shot out, seizing survivors and dragging them away. People vanished into it. Jin's voice shook. That hand! It's snatching people away! Tien's expression darkened. As I feared, the legendary clans have descended too. They're capturing capable survivors, recruiting them as disciples to grow their sect's power. On the other side of the chain, Yan is crying out her brother's name. And here, Tien is thinking, after facing countless dangers, how have we even survived until now? But for what reason? With so much hardship, we somehow made it this far. Yet these powerful clans act as if they are far above us. They've captured all three girls, Xiao, Jin, and Yan. Tien looks at them and thinks, look at the way they treat us, as if we're objects. And now they even want to take away the most important part of my life. We see them, grabbing Yan as countless hands stretch forward. Many want to drag her into their own clans. One hand pulls her directly toward a portal. Tien clenches his fists and thinks, on what basis do they dare to take my sister without my permission? Slowly, the hand drags Yan into the glowing portal. Step by step, she disappears inside. And then, in an instant, the portal closes. Yan vanishes before his very eyes. Tears well up in Tien's eyes. He cries out her name again and again. Yan! Yan! How could they do this to me? How could they take her away like this? Memories rush back. Precious moments he spent with her, even amidst disasters. When his own family had abandoned him and he was left alone, it was because of Yan's family that light returned to his life. She gave him hope again. He had promised himself that they would stay together, that he would always protect her. But what happened? After all his struggles, she was snatched away by a stronger clan, disappearing right before him. Then, spiritual hands begin reaching for Tien as well, to drag him into a clan. But Tien grits his teeth and thinks, no matter how powerful they are, how dare they behave like this with me and my sister? At the very least, they should have asked me. Fine. If you mistreat my sister, I swear I'll come for you. I'll take revenge. And on that day, I'll kill every single one of you. He pulls out his sword, ready to face the spiritual hands. He shouts, I will not fear you. I will fight you. With that, he charges forward, clashing against them. A massive explosion shakes the battlefield. Smoke fills the air. Dust rises everywhere, causing chaos. Amidst the chaos, someone clutches his chest in pain, trying to stand. Nearby, an old man watches and says, You've woken up, young man. You've been unconscious for quite some time. That young man is none other than Tien himself. He groans, holding his head. Sir, where am I? What is this place? The old man sighs. I don't know either. When I woke up, I was here. This place is strange, unfamiliar to me. I've seen people wearing different kinds of robes. People from different worlds. I even saw monsters with green skin. Terrifying creatures that attacked humans and devoured them. Around them are villagers and soldiers equally confused. One man says, This is so strange. I was eating food at my home and suddenly I vanished, appearing here. What's happening? A soldier shouts, Monsters? Where are they? Let them come. I'll kill them myself. Another soldier interrupts. Don't be foolish. Those beasts are terrifying. Maybe they also came from another world, just like us. Then, one person mutters, Did you hear that voice in the sky? It said all worlds have merged into one eternal world. Hearing this, Tian is stunned. What? The eternal world? It has truly formed? The old man steps closer to him. Don't move. Let me check your pulse. Your recovery. He examines him carefully. Tian thanks him. Sir, thank you so much for helping me. But have you seen 3 girls dressed like me? They should look similar. They came from my world. The old man shakes his head. I've seen many strangers fall from the sky, dressed like you. But I'm sorry, young man. I haven't seen the girls you're searching for. Tian heart sinks. That means they're not here. Suddenly, flashes of memory return. Spiritual hands snatching Yan, Jin, and Xiao into different clans. His chest tightens with depression. At that moment, a villager comes running, panicked. Terrible news! Monsters are coming this way! We must run! The villagers panic, scattering in fear. Another villager shouts, This time, it's not just green-skinned monsters. Red mouse-like beasts are coming too. There are too many of them. The ground shakes as the monsters approach. Soldiers grow nervous. These are man-eating monsters. They're back again. Run! A monster lunges forward, biting straight into a man's skull, killing him instantly. The old man yells at Tian. Young man! What are you doing standing here? Run, or you'll be killed! But Tian shrugs his hand off. He replies firmly, Don't worry about me. My body is fine now. I'm ready to fight. Sparks flash in his eyes. He raises his weapon and releases chains glowing with spiritual energy. With them, he lashes out at the oncoming beasts. Monsters are dragged into the chains, torn apart. Soldiers stare in shock. Who is this man? How is he so powerful? Another soldier mutters, He must be from another world. He's definitely strong. Even a commander-type soldier, muscular and imposing, admits, Incredible. This man must be a great magician. No one else could fight these beasts like this. But Tian struggles. There are too many monsters. He shouts to the soldiers, If you won't run, then fight. These monsters are everywhere. If you flee now, you'll still face them later. Better to stand together now than die alone tomorrow. His words ignite their courage. The muscular soldier steps forward. He's right. My name is Wang Du, and I'll fight alongside him. Better to die killing monsters than running like cowards. The others agree, roaring with newfound spirit. Soldiers and villagers unite, attacking the beasts together. The battlefield becomes a storm of blood and steel. Yet the monsters keep coming. One soldier, gravely wounded, falls. With his last breath, he whispers, At least, I die on the battlefield, not running in fear. I did my duty as a soldier. Tian watches, anger burning, but in his distraction, a red monster charges. Its spiked weapon pierces deep into his stomach. He falls, sword slipping from his hands, pain overwhelming him. The beast raises its weapon for the killing blow, when suddenly, an axe spins through the air and severs its head in one strike. Shock spreads across the battlefield. Tian turns to see the villagers, those who had fled, returning armed with farming tools, axes, and spades. They shout, We're here to help you! Monsters won't kill us so easily! We have strength too! Their courage fills Tian's heart. Bleeding heavily, he still smiles. In this world, I must become stronger. I must survive, for Yan. He stands again, shouting, Yan, no matter how many dangers block my path, I'll find you. I won't stop. No matter how powerful the enemies, I will never give up. The battle rages. Soldiers and villagers slaughter countless beasts. Finally, after a long fight, mountains of corpses pile up. The monsters are defeated. Exhausted, Tian turns to Wang Du. How many casualties? Wang Du replies, 10 soldiers, dead. 23 villagers also lost. Many are wounded, but they're being treated. Tian bows his head. They were all brave warriors. He looks at Wang Du. From now on, you will lead the soldiers. Gather the fallen, give them a proper funeral, and make sure no monster is drawn by their scent. Wang Du replies, Yes, Master Tian. Then the villagers approach. Sir, what about us? We need your strength too. Please, lead us. Another adds, Yes, without you, we're like snakes without heads. Without guidance, we'll be destroyed. Please, take leadership over us in these dark times. Tian is surprised. He thinks, since entering the eternal world, I'm not that strong yet. Alone, I can't face every danger. But with them by my side, I can grow stronger, survive longer, and one day reclaim Yan. He finally speaks. If you believe in me, then from this moment, I will lead you. Together, we'll survive. The crowd cheers. From that day on, Tian takes a new name within the eternal world, Yi Tianjing. The villagers and soldiers agree to call him simply Yi, their leader.